Hi everyone. Today's video, according to back on schedule, not that lame anymore, not today. I'm starting on page 299, which is a Leah chapter, um, and it takes us to 311, which is the end of section 3. We are actually more than halfway through the novel. It's going so fast. I hope you're reading. And I hope it's providing you a good experience during all the crap. There's also a short Rachel chapter and a short Ruth May chapter and a short Ada chapter, and then Leah rounds out the end to page 311. In the PDF, it starts on 81 of the PDF. The insomnia, I'm sorry, let me try it again. The insongonia, the attack of the ants. Here's a little side digression. I actually have so many more that I wish I could have with you guys. I have always loved the Little House on the Prairie novels, just sort of as like a fiction comfort food for the soul. That, you know, because I'm old and I grew up with the Little House on the Prairie TV show, so then I read all the novels. There's definitely a lot to criticize about the novels, but someday I'll write an academic paper. No, I won't. About similarities between the Little House on the Prairie series and the Poisonwood Bible, because in both situations it's a family with only daughters, and it's actually, in the Little House, but eventually there are 4 daughters, and they travel, and the father makes the decisions without the wife or the daughters having much say. Of course, in the Little House series, Pa is not Nathan Price. He's very kind. He has some moments. He's not, he's not the perfect version of the Pa we saw on TV, but for the most part, he's he's a very good dad. Anyway, in the 4th book, On the Banks of Plum Creek, there's a horrible grasshopper infestation that comes over their community exactly the same way as the ant attack, which, if we were in class, you would already know that I call it antpocalypse. We call it antpocalypse because, of course, it is. It's antpocalypse. And in the Little House books, it's such a parallel. It's just this stream of insects that just come over and get into absolutely everything and everyone and eat everything that is edible for them to eat. It's horrible. And here it is with the ants. So Leah starts describing it. It just happens in the middle of the night. Everyone, this like a whole curtain of ants. And, we see that Leah just gets up and starts running until Anatole says, Bene, that's how he calls her, Bene, where is your family? And she says, I don't know. I don't really know where anybody is. I just ran. This is something that Leah doesn't directly come to terms with. She does kind of in the moment. How could I leave Ada behind again? once in the womb, once to the lion, and now, like Simon Peter, I had denied her for the third time. I looked for her, a mother or anyone, but saw only other mothers running into the water with small sobbing children trying to splash and rub their arms and legs and faces clean of ants. Um, and she she does realize, though I don't deserve it, I wanted to rise to heaven, remembering something of beauty from the Congo. Um, it's pretty intense. And Rachel has kind of a rare moment of like real seriousness, but I'm alive in hell talking about this. And then she talks about this how to survive 101 calamities. Um, it starts in the novel at the very bottom of 301 into 302. And this becomes kind of a theme for Rachel. Um, kind of her survival skill that she carries with her figuratively for the rest of her life. Spoiler, not really. This idea of like sticking out your elbows and let yourself be carried by the crowd. Um, when you're in a crowded theater and there's a fire, you should stick out your elbows and raise up your feet. And it worked for her. But then, as soon as she reached the river, her world came crashing down. And um, it took her a while, and she got into a family's boat. It is, um, and Rachel brought her mirror. And then she said all the Mwanza children were still clambering in, and since I am their neighbor, I thought surely they would want me with them. But I was suddenly thrown back by someone's arm across my face. Slam bang, thank you very much. I was thrown right into the mud. Um, I maybe that's because Rachel didn't ever really consider herself their neighbor until now. Ruth May has a very short chapter, and she is still really out of it from her illness, and talks again about what Nelson taught her, that if it were ever time to die, she will disappear and go to a different place because of the Nkizi, and she decided she will be a green mamba snake away up in a tree. Um, Now, this moment for Ada, as painful as it is for absolutely everyone, I think Ada takes it the hardest of all. This she spoke out loud. She's just on page 304. I spoke out loud. The only time, help me. And then because Mother is carrying Ruth May, and Mother is still sick herself. Everyone is malnourished at this point, and she doesn't think she has the capacity to carry Ada as well. And then Mother just says, your father. She said, I think he must have gone on ahead with Rachel. Um, Neither Rachel nor Leah help Ada, and they could have. Um, it's really, really, really dark. Eventually, um, so she's actually getting trampled, um, and she takes this. It's certainly up for discussion as far as like, is Ada justified in taking this as hard as she does? It's a crisis situation. Everyone's behaving in a crisis. But Ada, this is sort of a defining moment for her life, really. And I, it's really, really difficult. Eventually, Anatole comes to her rescue. Anatole um, scoops her up and carries her and takes her to a boat. Then eventually we get Leah's chapter at the end of the the section, and she talks to Anatole again, um, and checks with Ruth May, and she says that Mother and Ada have gone ahead with Tata Bawanda, and Ada is all right. Ada is safe. Rachel is a demon, and your father is giving a sermon about Pharaoh's army and the plagues. Everyone is all right. And Leah, for the first time, is like, "Do you think this is the hand of God?" Um, this is where Leah's faith becomes even more complex. Um, she thinks for a little while that no one in the village cares about her family. And Anatole says, Tata Bawanda is carrying your mother and sister in his boat. Tata Lekulu is rowing his boat with leaves stuffed in his ears while your father lectures him on loving the Lord. Nevertheless, Tata Lekulu is carrying him to safety. Did you know Mama Mwanza sometimes puts eggs from her own chickens under your hens when you aren't looking? Um, which we didn't know. And then, of course, Leah, in the middle of all this, tells Anatole she loves him. And he says, Leah, don't ever say that again. And of course, all their chickens have been eaten up by the ants. Just that's the last little tag of it. It's really dark. And it gets darker. In the next section, hey, it's a 3-day weekend. I won't bug you with anything at all tomorrow. I hope everyone takes care. If you have questions, though, email me. I promise I will get back to you. I am here for you. I've very much enjoyed reading your responses to the book one questions. I especially enjoy seeing your replies to each other in the book one questions. I honestly haven't looked at the practice essays yet because this is going to sound incredibly lame, but I am in this emotional place of feeling so much empathy for you guys and so much care about you guys, you seniors, and what you must be going through, that I'm extremely hesitant to say anything about your writing. And this is me. This is me talking. I will try. So you might get some work returned from me for those practice essays, for those of you who have turned them in. Um, I hope you have a lovely Easter if you celebrate that, and take care of your families and yourselves. Bye.